Read the financial headlines today, and you will inevitably encounter a staggering statistic. 78% of American workers are living paycheck to paycheck. When we hear that number, our minds immediately picture an economic crisis driven by stagnant wages and inflation at the grocery store. But a surprising trend emerges in recent data from PYMNT Intelligence and Lending Club. Nearly half of consumers earning over $100,000 a year report living paycheck to paycheck. Among households bringing in more than $200,000 annually, over a third report the exact same financial desperation. For a low-income family, living paycheck to paycheck is a strict mathematical deficit. The cost of food and shelter simply exceeds the dollars coming in. But when a household in the top income brackets experiences that $0 balance at the end of the month, the math tells a different story. When high earners are perpetually broke, we are no longer looking at an external economic failure. We are witnessing a psychological and behavioral glitch. Economists classify this specific cohort as the wealthy hand-to-mouth. Their portfolio is highly imbalanced. On one side, they maintain a substantial balance of illiquid wealth, things like home equity and retirement accounts. But on the other side, the liquid cash column, the money sitting in checking and savings accounts, is completely empty. Because their money is locked up in these highly structured, inaccessible assets, they are functionally illiquid. They must consume 100% of their disposable income every pay period just to maintain the lifestyle those assets require. A $200,000 salary evaporates because the wealth is trapped behind a glass wall. They are just paper millionaires who will still break into a cold sweat over a sudden $500 car repair. Different income brackets react to inflation in wildly different ways. When prices spike, lower-income consumers naturally trade down to store brands or delay purchasing new clothes. High earners, however, often refuse to move. Only 28% of consumers earning over $100,000 are willing to buy lower-quality retail products to save money during inflationary spikes. This refusal is driven by hedonic adaptation. As income rises, the brain resets its baseline for what feels normal. Premium organic groceries and expensive personal care routines start as luxuries, but over time, the brain recategorizes them as non-negotiable basic necessities. This adaptation ensures that a salary increase creates no financial buffer. It merely raises the floor of what the brain considers baseline survival. Popular financial advice often blames small daily discretionary treats, like the proverbial latte, for the lack of savings in affluent homes. The true culprit is status spending on massive, inflexible monthly obligations. High earners lock their income into rigid payment schedules that leave no room for error. Affluent consumers are 53% more likely to pay for a second asset, and 54% more likely to carry heavy payments for premium private education. Lifestyle inflation essentially chains future raises to 30-year mortgages and heavy loan obligations, instantly consuming new wealth and keeping the earner on the treadmill. Even with these heavy obligations, there is usually enough mathematical room for a high earner to build a safety net, yet the data shows they frequently fail to do so. 17% of people earning over $200,000 admit their biggest financial vulnerability is simply that they have never built a consistent habit of saving. This stems from a significant psychological hurdle: loss aversion. Humans feel the pain of a loss twice as intensely as the pleasure of a gain. To a high earner, moving cash out of a checking account and into an inaccessible savings account triggers a pain reflex. Their brain perceives saving as an immediate downgrade to their current lifestyle. High job confidence tricks the brain into prioritizing current consumption over protecting the future self. They operate on the assumption that the big paychecks will always arrive, leading to a 100% consumption rate. We can see the divide between feeling broke and being broke by looking at the hard reality of bank ledgers. A study by the Bank of America Institute analyzed actual internal consumer deposit and spending data to measure the exact percentage of income households actually spent on true necessities. This chart shows the reality. While over 60% feel they live paycheck to paycheck, only 24% objectively spend over 95% of their income on necessities. The bars show the growth rate for those crossing this threshold has slowed. High-income earners are not mathematically constrained. Ultimately, wealth is found in the psychological peace of a liquid buffer. the security of money held rather than money spent.